What's going on, everybody? My name is Jokertone, and welcome to my review of Episode 7 of Power Rangers Dino Charge, Let Sleeping Zords Lie. Now, I feel very off about this episode, for a few reasons, and don't, I guess you could quote me on this, and correct me if I am wrong, which I might be, but I feel like this episode has not a lot of, but a few plot holes. And it also made me think about something in regards to something on the show. Now, first off, the episode is about the Rangers finding the rest of the Energems, and Shelby and Kendall making a device to help find the energy signatures of those dinosaurs and Energems, which is fine. But what I found interesting is the fact of they're able to use the Ankylozord with their Megazord without the battery, like without the, not even just without a battery, but without the Energem. And you know, this just makes me think though, because it's like they don't have the Energem for the Ankylozord, but Shelby got rid of the spike that was on it that was controlling it, making it go like all crazy and stuff. So I'm not saying that it wouldn't potentially be like, hey, let me join up with your Zord. But it just seems kind of odd that they're able to do so without the person who has the Energem for it. You know? And also in that regard, did the dinosaurs that took the gems, did they turn into the Zords or something? Because otherwise, how did the Dino Charge Megazords get there? I mean, they never really explain that in that regard, and that just made me think about it today when they're trying to find it and found the Zord, the Ankylodon Zord, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, well, wait a minute. How did the Zords get there? I mean, they never explained it. It's not like Kendall and Keeper created the Zords, and if they did, why did they spread them around the world and hide them in those locations? But yeah, that just kind of, it seemed like a big plot hole in that somebody has the Energem and they can like still use it, even though I feel like they shouldn't really be able to. I mean, a system maybe, but to be able to join up to the Megazord, I don't know. I might just be thinking too into it. Also, it's not really a plot hole, but also what kind of tweaked me is they never showed how Shelby got the stinger off the Ankylozord. Mind you, she could have just used her gun and shot it off, you know, and that would have been that. But it just kind of irks me that they didn't show it, because I feel like that's something that could have been cool, like her going up against the Zord by herself. I feel like that would have been really interesting to see. And let's see what else. I kind of think, at this point, I don't know what to think of Shelby and Kendall's relationship. I feel like Kendall wants to be nice to her, but is still kind of jealous over her being a Ranger and her not being a Ranger. And I feel like maybe one of the things that drove Kendall to go and stop the Ankylodon Zord and get the stinger off of it is her hopes to maybe finding the Energem for it, and maybe somebody didn't bind to it yet. But that's just my guess. That's just my own personal headcanon, and take with it with a grain of salt or whatever. All in all, the episode seemed very kind of rushed. Not like all over the place. I just feel like I tried to maybe do too much at once. But other than that, it was enjoyable. I don't know. I honestly don't know about this episode. Maybe because, I don't know. It wasn't bad. In no way was it really bad. I enjoyed it. I do not want to... don't say that I hate it or anything. But we'll just have to see where they kind of go with how they introduce the Rangers. Because, not saying that they were going to introduce the Cyan Ranger this episode, but, yeah. But let's see, what else? But yeah, no, like I said in my last video, though, Sledge hasn't really seemed all that intimidating. I mean, sure, they had one confrontation with him, but that was kind of it. Like, I feel like he's not really at that point where him and his, like subordinates are, like, that threatening. Because they really haven't had any solid victories outside of little petty things, like taking over the mind of a ranger or something. I don't know. We'll have to see down the line and see where things go. I'm hoping that they use the Navy Kyuger to some extent. That one, I think the number on his battery was 00, and he had like a sword that he used as a flute, kind of reminiscent of the Green Ranger back in Mighty Morphin. That'd be cool to maybe introduce at some point. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Very interesting episode. I enjoyed it, but it was just kind of weird and different is all. And I'm looking forward to the next couple episodes that come out. I really am. And this is a very interesting season, and it's very rare that these past couple seasons haven't really made me think like this, because they've kind of been downgraded and stupid, like just kind of stupid, and just like kind of flat out like, oh yeah, this and that, and not really make you have to think. I like that these episodes, this series is kind of making you have to think and makes you question a lot of things. But yeah, no, let me know what you guys think down below.